Welcome everyone. I am your host Brian. You are on the BrianTMurray YouTube channel. It's time for us to do our Loki review. We're going to do episodes 3 and 4 in the same video. So it's coming through. I like the fact they have to, as Marvel always do, they use great detail in terms of explaining the backstories, because this is why Marvel is better than DC because they invest the time in getting it right. It takes longer, but they invest the time in getting it right. I just saw another video of the upcoming trial of Magneto, and the guy who did the video was like, "This is why Marvel is running circles around DC. The top 10 comics that are selling, only one of the top 10 belongs to the DC. The other 8 belongs to Marvel. 8 out of the top 10 selling comics right now belongs to Marvel. Why? Because it's the story. It's the story. They believe in creating the story so good that they can revisit it even if it's 30, 40 years later. And that's what's happening with the MCU. Now, I was always into comics. Thanks to my older brother. My older brother got out of it fairly quickly. But that Marvel Comics has always been speaking to me. Always been speaking to me. One of the greatest joys growing up was after church or after revival, and we stopped by 7-Eleven or Highs. Highs been out of business for like 30 years. Whatever is, convenience store, and they always sold comic books. After being in church all day, boy, if my father would spare me 75 cents or $1 to get a comic book, oh, that was the greatest thing. That was the greatest thing. And what was so great about it is my imagination was being fed. My imagination has gotten me where I am today. It may not be much to most, but trust me, it is a lot going on than you see. Albert Einstein said, imagination is greater than knowledge. Imagination is greater than knowledge. So when I read the Bible, and I believe every single character that Jesus says, when I read it, I see it. If I see it, I believe it. So I'm seeing it before it happens. This is what makes me further along than most. All you gotta do is paint a picture, and I will believe it. That's me. If I know it is from God, I believe it. So the Marvel Comics just always created like a appetite for me to think the unthinkable, and now here we are, 21st century. All these movies are making $1 billion a piece, and then everyone who thought it was silly to follow Marvel Comics is now like, oh, I can't wait till the next one come out. Like, So I like the fact. Oh, by the way, the Loki soundtrack is pretty good, y'all. The Loki soundtrack is pretty good. It's yeah. When Marvel goes all out, they go all out, man. All right, here we are. The young lady who is playing the alternate version of Loki. First, let's look her up. Okay, it's because when she was in episode 3, when she was in when she was in the dream of Sylvie. Sophia da Martino. Sophia da Martino. Okay. Let's see. She's a tall girl. I tell you that. You really can't. Of course, she is British. Of course. No one is stunned by that. English actress of Italian descent. No one is stunned by that. She is a tall girl. No one is stunned by that. The fact when she stands right next to Tom Hiddleston, who's also British, she looks short. That lets you know that's how tall Tom is. She has looks. She has looks. She's cute. It is up to her. She is an adjustable 6. It is up to her, depending if she wants to be cute one day or beautiful another. It's totally up to her. Yeah. I can only imagine her all dolled up, like, yeah, show us what you have to offer. Come on. I hate to see women today waist pretty. I hate that so much. Oh my goodness. I hate to see them waist pretty, as if it's going to always be this way. Let me tell you, it's not. There's always a new model coming off the lot. All right. Anyway, cute girl. So back to the show. She is. I like the fact that he went in after her. That's fine. I'm sorry. Episode 3 picks up when she has the Minuteman or the TVA agent, and she's trying to get a code from her. So she is doing that, and even her in like regular casual clothes. It's like, oh, she's a cute. Go figure. Whenever she has this alternate version of Asgard apparel, she looks crazy, but that happens. I was visiting some friends on Father's Day, and I was saying at the table that Tom Hiddleston he auditioned to be James Bond, and the young lady at the table was like, I can't see him as James Bond. I was like, oh no. I didn't really expound on it, but when you think of Tom Hiddleston, you think his Loki hair is what he looks like. No, I've seen him with his natural hair, his hair low cut, shaved, sprinkle of gray in there. It's like he looks just like a James Bond. What are you talking about? No, just these black extensions got you thinking he can't be anything else. No. When Daniel Craig finally decides to walk away from James Bond, yeah, Hiddleston will have to sign that 10-year contract minimum, but yeah, I totally see it. All right. Anyway, here we are. The age. Girl Loki. Sylvie. Sylvie got the code. Loki tracks her down. They get into a fight. As they are fighting. Ravanata comes around the corner with her troops. She comes around the corner with her troops, and she expels them to a alternate world. The alternate world is Limitus. Always giving hard words to pronounce. So they are there. They are on a planet that is essentially about to be crashed into by something bigger, meaning asteroids. So you have that going on. So you have Sylvia and Loki is still doing doing the whole survival thing. They're on the planet. They have to figure out where they are. They have to figure out where they are for them to figure out how to get off the planet. You have that going on. They are in a bar, restaurant, saloon type situation. And Sylvie and Loki are talking. Loki being Loki, he makes the most out of the situation. I like the fact that the conversation, they are exchanging wisdom. You know, though they are the same person, they have two totally different approaches to life. So I like the fact when Sylvie takes a nap and Loki is doing the whole singing bit. I really like the fact that Marvel gives Tom Hiddleston the opportunity to show his theatrical background. Now I don't know exactly what his theatrical background is, but obviously he has one. You can tell that in episode 2 when he's trying to warn the Italians, I believe, that the volcano right next door is getting ready to erupt, and you can't do anything about it. So he has this festive, joyous situation going on. So it's like, yeah, I get it. I really get it. Loki being Loki, man. Yeah. Loki being Loki. Being in the bar situation, someone recognizes him, which brings about trouble. And they get escorted off. They get into a tussle. Loki naturally, so even the alternate version of Loki, they have above average hand-to-hand combat. Hand-to-hand combat, you have that going on. And you have the Lokis jumping off the train. Now they're in the middle of nowhere. You have to figure it out. They are talking, conversating. You can tell that the two Lokis have eyes for each other, because it's really about personality, man. I mean, once you pass the whole fitness requirement, whatever your physical fitness requirement is all about like this other alternate version of me is quite intriguing. So that's really cool. Yes, the planet is getting ready to be destroyed. I like at the very end is very very climatic. They're running towards the end, and then when they run to the end of the alley, they see the planet is coming towards the planet, the asteroid or whatever. It's coming towards wherever they are, and then they realize it's like there's nowhere we can run to if we're on the planet that's about to be destroyed. So that's pretty cool. I just think that was just pretty cool. You know, it's that end of the world type of scenario. You know, it's like it's very fascinating. It's always fascinating for us to see and watch and so forth and so on. So yeah. All right, that's enough for episode 3. So pretty decent. Again, I understand what it is that they're doing. They have a very unpopular storyline in this Loki thing. However, they're laying the foundation because I really believe this is going to tie into the multiverse of madness, to most known as Doctor Strange Part 2. Because once they start explaining alternate universes and timelines and all this other stuff on a grand scale, everybody's just going to go crazy, man. Everybody's just going to go crazy. So I like the fact that in this scenario, you have the fact that Sylvie realizes that the TVA in general is a ploy. I thought that was pretty awesome. It's a ploy in so much that the people there don't realize that they also are variants. They are kidnapped from other timelines to serve whoever the mastermind is behind all this. Now, the mastermind leads up to Kang the Conqueror. The majority of you don't know who Kang the Conqueror is, but let me tell you, once he hit the silver screen, Kang the Conqueror is up there with Doctor Doom. He's not above Doctor Doom, but he's up there with Doctor Doom. He's up there. If he's up there with Doctor Doom, that means he's up there with Thanos. Okay, Thanos is because of his pursuits of the Cosmic Cube and the Tesseract and the Infinity Stones, he's technically above Doctor Doom, only because we're going towards God King Doom. That will come out in 2030. So we have another 9 years for that to be explained until you realize there's no villain above Doom. Okay. Here we are, episode 4. They find Sylvie back. I'm sorry. Ravana. I'm so glad I sounded that out. Ravana, as an agent, was sent back to get Sylvie as a little girl. And even as a little girl, she looks like a girl Loki. So you have all of this going on. So Sylvie realizes they have a scuffle, a squabble. She's brought before the judge to be tried. She stomps on Ravana's foot, takes her keypad, and escapes. And that was her as a little girl. So when she explains to them that how whoever is behind this TVA ploy is really powerful, they have no idea who it is or who it might be, is because to this thought process, they think that the timekeepers are end all be all. No. You have okay. So Morbius and B-15 is trying to track down Loki and Sylvie. Now, Loki and Sylvie, they realize that their time is winding down. And they have a bond. And in the process of this bond, their connection shows up at the TVA. And right at the final moments, yeah. I see it now. When Sylvie puts her arm on Loki's forearm and they connect. Ooh. Their connection is sending shockwaves through the timeline. And that's how the TVA found them. Right at the final moments, they're holding hands, getting ready to die. The TVA finds them. They call it a branch. Yeah. This is crazy. This is crazy. Wow. And they are back into custody. There's something about Loki and Sylvie that threatens all that is happening. The mere fact that they bonded, a branch came from their timeline, and that's how the TVA were able to find them. So we have this process going on. They separate Sylvie and Loki. Mobius sends him to Asgard to face Lady Sif. Let me tell you about Jamie Alexander, who plays Lady Sif. That is an attractive woman. I don't like her last show. I didn't watch it, but the last show they have her as an all-out gay woman. No. That's a fine woman. That's a fine woman. That is a fine woman. When she's down to her basic self, yeah, you can see clearly how she plays Lady Sif. Like, yep, that's her. Yeah. All right. So Mobius sends him to this time loop of getting punched out by Lady Sif, and it's very interesting because I remember the story when Loki cut a lock of Lady Sif's hair. He did that to get a lock of her hair to create another clone of her or of some other woman, a part of some evil scheme to take down Thor. So even in passing, Marvel is just accurate, man. I mean, that storyline happened in the 80s. And I mean, Marvel's just on point, man. Marvel's just on point, man. You have so much of a greater appreciation for Marvel when you know what's going on. And you know that nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. So, you have that going on. B-52 says something very interesting. She says she realized that something is up. They're now aware of something. Because why is it so important for the TVA to take down the two Lokis? It's so important is because they have stumbled upon the truth that the TVA is all a front. I like the fact when Morbius is interrogating Loki, and he tells Loki, give up, whatever, blah blah blah, and then Loki just breaks down and says, "Hey, you're a variant, right?" He said, "Oh, okay. Tell me another lie or something of that sort." He says, "There's no greater lies than the lies you tell yourself." Yo! When he said that, I was like, Loki up here preaching. Who knew? The Lord of Mischief is up here preaching. Who knew? So B-52 goes in after Sylvie. You have Morbius and Ravonna. They're having their entanglement, and he switched their time keypads. Because Morbius realizes there's something more going on than this. And I like that kind of story because there's always more than what you're being told. That's how I have lived my life. It's more than what I've been taught. It's more than what I've been taught. And I've never been comfortable or just settled or content. I'm sorry. I have been content, but I've never been satisfied with all I've been taught because there's more out there. Dr. Miles Monroe always said this, is the more you learn, the more you realize, the more you need to know. The more you learn, that's when you realize there's more that you need to know. So B-15 takes Sylvie back into Alabama when they have the disaster. She's hiding her at, as we said in episode 1 or 2 in a previous conversation. A variant can hide in places where there is a disaster getting ready to happen, because whatever they say or do, it will not change the fact that a disaster is getting ready to happen. So when B-52, when B-15 says, when you were in my mind, I saw a picture of me, and she took her back there, and Sylvie explained to her, it's like, I didn't give you new memories, I could only manipulate the ones you had. So when I got into your head, you only saw a glimpse of what you had in the reality. So you have simultaneously B-15 and Morbius is going through this process, and they realizing there's more to it. Morbius comes after Loki and says, okay, there's more we have to talk about, because he's realizing something more to it. When he comes back, Ravonna is waiting for Morbius and Loki. They are now in custody. They realize they have taken her keypad, and at the time being, he is annihilated through her little stave baton. Yeah, that is the name of it. So to this point, it looks like Morbius is dead, and let me tell you, Morbius is not dead. I can tell you that now. That ain't happening. So they take Loki back into custody. They have Sylvie back into custody. So Ravonna takes them before the Timekeepers. They are in the Timekeepers, and they break out in battle because they're like, we're not going out like that. And Sylvie throws her baton or knife or whatever it was and knocks off the head of one of the Timekeepers. Then they realize they're androids. It's, you have this Wizard of Oz theme, and then you realize it's more to it, and that Sylvie and Ravonna have unfinished business. Sylvie could have eliminated Ravonna, and Sylvie was like, I'm not doing that because I need a lot of information from you. Okay, now because I was on YouTube and it showed up in my algorithm that there was a post-credit scene because Loki was sent away and he's somewhere else, and hovering over him it is, and let me pause this frame. If you're not careful, you will miss the fact that it's 4 versions of Loki. It's 4. Because you also have the alligator. 3 of the 4 Yeah, there's no real explanation for this, but to this point. But it appears to be 4 versions of Loki. We look at the what looks like a black Thor, what looks like the traditional costume of Loki. That's when I first came aware of Loki back in, I think, the late 80s. My first exposure to Loki was actually through the X-Men Alpha Flight crossover. I only had part 2 of it. I didn't have part 1. But when he mentioned that he's the brother of Thor, I was like, what? What is he doing messing with the X-Men and the Alpha Flight? Please, this is just all a part of it. It's all a part of it. So I like the fact the traditional Loki is standing here in his traditional costume. You have the traditional Loki look on his face. You have the alligator. You have the kid Loki, which is a thing, and you have the Black Thor. I don't know what was happening, but he has apparently stumbled across a group of Lokis. Now, and that's when it ends. So, hey, we don't know what that means, but we know Marvel is going to have some explaining to do. So, I'll end the video here. Just wanted to take this opportunity to get y'all caught up on this, for us to do this together and give the review. So I will end it here, and I will see y'all in a little bit. All right, take care. Bye.